All right, let's talk about demand. So demand is when you have consumers who want to buy a product. But just because you want to buy something doesn't mean that you'll pay whatever price for it. So demand is a combination of desire to buy something and the ability to buy it. So we might call someone being willing and able. So for example, if we look at the price of something, you might be willing to buy it when the price is low, but not when the price is high. And there are probably a lot of people who feel like this. So for example, if we're talking about the quantity of jam that's being purchased, you might end up somewhere. So for example, I might be right here, and I might be willing to buy some jam at a price of $3. Someone else might like jam not quite as much as me. They might be over here and be willing to pay $1. And so it helps if we order people and say, okay, how about the people who will be first in line to buy it, or the people who really want to buy something, they're willing to pay a lot for it, they're going to be over on this side and the first to get it. And then as the price drops, more and more people will be able to buy it. So that's going to look something like this when we connect the dots. And this is what we call a demand curve. So each point on this curve is just someone who's willing and able to buy that good. So when we add them all up together, we get a demand curve. And so this represents, at a price of $3, if I am the 10th person in line, that means that there are a total of 10 being purchased at a price of $3. If we were to lower the price, and this person is number 20, that would mean that there are 20 being purchased. So note that we can change the price, and that changes our location on the demand curve. Note that it does not shift the demand curve. It merely changes the quantity demanded. So what's really powerful about the demand curve is that it tells us a variety of information, which is at any price we can know what quantity will be demanded. We can also represent this in a table where we have the price and the quantity. So at a price of $6, maybe only one will be sold. Here we see that at a price of $3, 10 will be sold. What about at a price of 1? Well, in that case, our demand curve shows that 20 will be sold. Likewise, we can go from this schedule or table and make a curve out of it. So I say curve, but really we just tend to use straight lines to demonstrate it. So again, a demand curve is really just this information here represented in graph form. It's a relationship between the price of a good and the quantity demanded at that price. The price can change and we move from one point to another along the demand curve. It does not shift the demand curve.